Hello, and welcome to this three-part series on Awaken Your Inner Lover. So what this is all about is a way to activate within yourself the miraculous connections between love, pleasure, vitality, healing, and spiritual bliss. So how many of you are here because you're ready to shift your energy back into the heart and to live from your heart? Well, I'm so excited to have you here, and congratulations for carving out the time to have a new experience in your life, to grow and expand your own horizons. It always warms my heart to see people doing that. So we'll be meeting 3 Fridays in a row. I'm your host. If we haven't met before, I'm Dr. Debora Meitz, the Tantra Doctor. I help women to break free of sexual shame, of past wounds, and emotional pain. I also help women to reignite their passion for pleasure and spiritual connection, and to experience pleasure as a path to healing. Many of us have some trauma that we want to overcome, as well as societal conditioning and painful relationships that we've experienced in our lives. What I want you to know is that you can have the best and most meaningful sex of your life now, with or without a partner, at whatever age you happen to be. My students are somewhere usually between their 20s and into their 70s. And I'm really happy to say that each woman has been able to connect to her sexuality in a way that is fulfilling and allows them to grow and heal, to be and have the things that they want in their lives. So again, congratulations for being here. A lot of us are wanting to learn how to discover the magic that lives inside of us, to have delight, connection, enjoyment, whether you're single or whether you're partnered. This is possible. And I'm here to let you know that the power of your authentic sexual energy has the potential to heal and transform your life. So I'm here to support you to really begin shifting and to inspire you. I am offering some participation pleasure prizes. So you can qualify to win one of these prizes by doing the action step from each day to be entered into a drawing, and so that you can win your prize. And of course, the prize is designed to help you to open your heart, to open it to intimacy, pleasure, to your own authentic self, and with that of another, if appropriate. So I'm curious, what draw you in here today to join me? So I invite you, if you're listening live, to post in the comments so that I can tune into your unique desires and energy and support you in the best possible way throughout this series together. So you may have shut your heart and your sexual energy due to painful experiences. You may want deeper connection with a significant other, a partner in your life, or perhaps you're wanting to magnetize the perfect new partner in your life. And possibly you have the things that you're wanting in your life, but you're wanting to learn how to connect your sexuality and your spirituality in a way that is meaningful and life-changing. So I understand. In fact, I'm here because I've been there myself. And so have the women that I've been supporting for many years now. So what I know is that it really is possible to connect, to reconnect to this deepest love within yourself, to awaken your inner lover and to use this power to transform your relationships with a significant other, to reignite your own magnetism, to stoke your own life force energy, to shift out of stress reactions and anger back into a place of joy and connection so that you can experience the bliss that is available to you. And to even as a result of these practices, to heal on the level of the body, mind, emotions, and spirit. We can do this even in very challenging times, such as what we're in right now. So I'm going to bring down the screen for a moment, and so that you can tell your story. So I want to invite you to post below what it is that you desire to apply this love to. If you open up all of your energy and you are truly integrated spiritually, with your sexually energy, and on the level of body, mind, emotions, and spirit, what would you want to do with this? How would you want this to manifest in your life? What would you want this to create for you? So take a moment to think about this for a minute. What is it that you want in your life? How do you want to use this miraculous, transformative love? So I want to tell you a little bit about some of the benefits that I see. And then later, as you're using these, I really want to hear about how you are using these gifts in your life, how you're growing, healing, learning, and becoming all that you want to be. So today, we're going to learn about the miraculous power of love and compassion that has been used for thousands of years, literally thousands of years, to create these same outcomes that we want in our lives today. You're going to learn a foundational practice that activates this transformative love so that you can use this to easily shift back to this place anytime you kind of get pulled away from your heart, or if you start to feel depleted or disconnected, which happens a lot in life. It's exciting, really, for me to know that science is confirming what ancient Taoist and Tantric practitioners from places in the world 5,000 years ago even knew was possible for us. So in this series, I'll be going into some very deep practices and sharing some ancient wisdom about connecting your sexual energy and pleasure to your spirituality so that you can be fully awakened to the magical pleasure, creative power, and unlimited potential that lives within you so that you can live the life that you long for. So ancient practitioners used the practices of Tantra and Taoist sexual energy practices to expand their physical vitality, their longevity, and their spirituality so that they could heal and grow on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels and connect to their highest spiritual consciousness. Sexual energy is the fuel for higher consciousness and spiritual enlightenment. Most of us don't think of it that way, but amazingly, it's true. So we can find this place of oneness and a level of serenity and peace within ourselves that is quite miraculous and transformative. So Valentine's Day, which for me inspired me to move forward into doing this series, is very much about connection in all areas of our lives. How often we forget, or we never learn in the first place, about the special connection that exists between our hearts and our sacred sexual organs and our sexual energy. So many of us have forgotten, or else, again, we never learned, that pleasure is our birthright, and that pleasure is in itself a medicine. Pleasure is medicine to the body, mind, emotions, and spirit. In fact, our bodies and our brains are wired for pleasure. And if you're questioning whether or not that's true, let's take a moment to look at the female clitoris. It is an organ that has 8,000 nerve endings on the head of the clitoris, and it has no function in the body whatsoever other than to bring pleasure. So we wouldn't have been designed for pleasure if it's not something that is wholesome, that is right for us, and that we have like an internal and a divine permission to explore and to enter into. Instead, for most of us, we've grown up in a culture where sexuality and pleasure itself are shamed, for especially women, but even for all genders, really, that we are shamed about our sexuality. But I do believe that for women, there's been a lot stronger level of societal conditioning and shame associated with pleasure. So I'm here to bust that all open. And the reason that I am is because I, at one point in my life, for many years in my life, was completely disconnected. I was completely separated from my sexual energy. I had experienced some trauma earlier in my life, and it came up in a way that allowed me really to see sex and spirit as very different things. And there was a great deal of disconnection between my sexual energy and the rest of my life. And in fact, I felt really, I kind of felt damaged. I felt that there had been a lot of suffering. I had lost confidence. And I was in a lot of emotional pain around that. I had been in therapy for many years, with some improvement, but I still felt that this deep connection to this part of myself that I was missing was something I was really longing for and wanted to have. So I became a physician and I started to have success in many areas of my life. But even with all of the success, the growth, and the wonderful things that had happened in my life, I felt that there was this part that was missing. So I decided to pursue a path of Tantra. I had already been meditating for many, many years, 25 years or so. And so my spirituality was really important. And I wanted to find a way that these could truly be connected. I'd heard that it was possible. I knew there were ancient texts that talked about that, but it was something that I didn't have access to. I wondered how this could really be. And then over many years of study, I was able to reclaim the joy of pleasure. I was able to reclaim a part of myself that fulfilled me in so many ways. And as I got my pleasure back, and my sexual desire, my sexual arousal, and my ability to connect to myself and others, I got my power back. Even though I had a lot of things that helped me to develop power, confidence, and courage in my life, it was actually reclaiming my sexual energy and to see it as a sacred part of me that actually allowed me to grow and to embrace this and to feel like I had a life force energy brewing inside of me that allowed me to truly be all that I am and all that I could be. And of course, this is an infinite journey, an infinite path of growing, healing, becoming. So there is no end point per se, because we know that we are divine beings, and we have a very powerful experience within ourselves that we can experience for ourselves and with others. So these practices that I'll share with you will help you to become more fully alive, to become completely connected to your pleasure, to be liberated from old patterns of functioning and conditioning, trauma, the things that may have happened in your life that kind of severed this connection. So we can get past this point of limiting pleasure and limiting spirituality. So you can integrate your sexuality and your spirituality, and your sacred pleasure will help you to heal, to expand your consciousness, and completely change your life, bringing liberation, exquisite pleasure, happiness, and emotional well-being. So I want to share with you right now one of the other reasons that I chose to go live today, and that is my dear mother. My mom passed away last year, but she has always been for me the inspiration for love and an example of someone who was able to love so fully and so completely. So today happens to be her birthday. And I thought there was no better day to go live and to teach about awakening your inner lover and opening your heart than this very special day on her birthday. So in this past year, I had the opportunity to really get in touch with how powerful my Tantra Doctor sacred medicine practices really are. When she passed away, unexpectedly and suddenly, in the middle of my 6-week masterclass series on pleasure. I'm really fortunate in that my mother really supported my sacred work in the world. And she witnessed the ways that my life changed and the ways that I grew as I was able to apply these teachings in my life over the past 12 years. So pleasure took on a whole new meaning, viewed through the lens of grief and loss and death. And to be honest, it wasn't that easy to go through that. It's been very difficult. But it's allowed me to deeply understand that many of us are moving through challenging experiences in our lives right now and needing the love, compassion, energy, and optimism that can lift us up to a new place. This experience also confirmed for me how important it is to have healing support and how to have a sacred, safe community of people that I can go to, that I can have as a place to see and be seen, to connect and to be able to be authentically who I was and to be free to experience the things that I'm experiencing and feeling. So I have a very deep amount of gratitude for the incredible women who participated in my 6-month series, as well as this 6-week masterclass series. And in my 6-month series called Reclaim Your Sacred Sexual Vitality, women are learning to connect to this deep parts of themselves. Some of you are here today, and I really like that. I love seeing you again and having you present again here. And I want you to know how much I deeply appreciated the loving support, the inspiring sense of purpose, laughter, joy, and authenticity that we've experienced together, especially during such a difficult time in my life. So I'm committed to providing a safe container for women to be held in. So that's something that you can definitely count on me for. The journey that we took down the sacred sexual empowerment pathway nourished me in really deep, profound, and surprising ways, as did they. So these are challenging times for all of us. My optimism and energy are rising as I nourish myself with the medicine of my sacred sexual life-giving energy. So over many years of service and conscious self-growth, I've developed the sacred sexual empowerment pathway to help women to reclaim their own sacred sexual energy, to embody, express, and celebrate their birthright and their feminine power so that they can live life to their fullest potential. So to reignite your inner fire, to transform your life with love, healing, and empowerment so that you can experience the bliss, connection, and beautiful communion that is within you in your sacred, deepest self and essence. So you can share this energy and this love in your life throughout all of the parts of you, and as well as with a partner, if you have one. So if you feel called and desire to shift your experience in life in these ways, I'll let you know about some options for further support before we wrap up today, including my upcoming 6-month program, which is the first spiral in this sexual enlightenment and empowerment pathway. If you've been with me for a while, this year might be the time for you to step into this pathway fully. And I'll share how we can connect around this. So let's dive into this foundational pillar of love and to see what it offers to us. So my question first is, when do you remember feeling deep, lasting love in your life? When did you have a radiant love of life? When have you had unconditional love for your body? What about love in your engagements with others, even in challenging moments? When do you last remember a love within that naturally increases pleasure, bliss, sensuality, and spiritual connections? Have you ever felt a clear connection between your sexuality and spirituality that fully, truly uplifted you rather than just triggering shame? I invite you to take a moment to look at what you truly desire in your life right now. And if you like, I invite you to post this in the comments. So let's learn for a minute about the power of love with the heart and the Yoni. The Yoni is a Sanskrit term to describe a woman's sexual organs. And the term Yoni really translates to the temple of the goddess, which is a really beautiful way of looking at our sexual organs, our sacred sexual organs, and all that this is for us. So let's look at the slides on our heart right now. Let's discover the secret power of the vibration of love and all the ways it can transform our lives. But I want to start with a quote that I think is really important. Shakti, which is the divine feminine principle and the feminine sexual energy, is a radical force for change, for freedom without boundaries. It is the vital flow of living life itself. Surrendering to this primal love allows you to experience the love that creates all life. And this love is vital for both men and women to reclaim, to stand up and have full trust and confidence in who you are and what you instinctively and passionately feel means that the whole world can change in a single moment. And this is the possibility for all of us. So compassion originates from our heart. And in the Taoist Chinese medicine system, which many of us know as the 5-element system, the heart is really the imperial organ. The heart is the organ that rules all of the other organs. But what you may not realize is that the heart can actually generate a very powerful magnetic field. In fact, there are many, many layers, up to 37 or even more layers of magnetic field that come through your heart when we're engaging with love. So I want to invite you to just take a moment to smile into your heart and just get a feeling for what that feels like. To just smile to your heart. As you do this, allow yourself to feel your heart, to feel love, joy, happiness, connection, and full acceptance of who you are. And I want you to have a chance to see the image. We have many spiritual images that relate to compassion. So this is a goddess. It might be the Mother Mary. It might be Mary Magdalene. It might be another goddess. But basically pointing to the Sacred Heart, to experience the love and the joy we feel within. In addition to that, we know that we have other spiritual images, and it doesn't really matter what background you come from in terms of your spirituality. But because this is a universal truth that is not limited by human religions or belief systems. But Jesus was a perfect example of a life of love, person that completely embodied compassion and love. And in other cultures, particularly the Taoist and Buddhist traditions, there is a wonderful goddess of compassion named Kuan Yin, who can inspire us to fully tune into our own sense of compassion. And here is a really important, exciting scientific discovery that that really reinforces the understandings that we've developed over 5,000 years ago. So this is a scientific measurement of a vibration of our own bodies. So there are two states. When you take the states of arousal and orgasm with unconditional love and compassion, we actually start to vibrate at a different frequency. This at the frequency has actually been measured to be 8 hertz. Interestingly, this vibrational level, this vibrational frequency, is actually the same level of as the Earth's heartbeat. And this is called the Schumann Resonance. So a scientist named Schumann measured the vibrational frequency of the Earth and found that it is the same frequency that we vibrate at when we are connected to sexual arousal, sexual orgasm, as well as to compassion and unconditional love. And when this vibration reaches our pineal gland, which is associated to the crown chakra, or the crown center, that there are pineal hormones that are produced, or neurotransmitters, that allow us to live in a higher state of consciousness. So I want to show you some other images about the vibrational frequency that we put out. So if you can visualize this one, that we actually are putting out a vibrational field around our bodies. And so that when we are combining our sexual energy with unconditional love, we have healing love. Love that allows us to heal and go to a greater state of consciousness. And if you want to take a look at these other images here, there's another. So love is the key, right, to opening up this magnetic field of our hearts. And this is the shape of the electromagnetic field of the body, and which is actually generated by the heart. So if you can look here, you can see in these bodies, there is the heart's vibrational field, as well as the vibrational field that we release to all the world around us. Another really interesting thing about this is that we can develop this compassion and this expansion of love inside of ourselves. When we combine that with our sexual energy, we can send that out to the world around us, even out into the cosmos, to other parts of our galaxy, and that this energy then can become magnified and expanded even further, and then we can actually receive it back down, bringing it back through our bodies so that we can experience greater levels of bliss, pleasure, joy, and ecstasy. So the energetic wave that is created by combining sexuality and spirituality is one that is a long-lasting vibrational energy. So that's something that we can develop within ourselves and can go back to over and over again. So it's a lasting energy. So let's take a look for a moment at what is possible for you. What do you desire in your life? And what is keeping you from it? Eastern medicine provides us with the guidance to thrive in our lives and can be witnessed in creation and in nature. So the Taoists developed a lot of energetic practices for utilizing sexual energy. But also some of these practices and this theory allow us to see how we are microcosm. We are a smaller part of a greater macrocosm that lives in nature, and even in all parts of the world around us, even goes out to the planetary level, which we can certainly talk about more on in another session. But in this 5-element theory, you can see that each element, there is what they call a creation cycle. So that, for example, we have water that feeds the wood element, which feeds the fire element, which then feeds the earth element and the metal element. So this can be a little bit complex, but long and short, what's important to know is that each element is associated with an organ in the body, actually a pair of organs in the body, as well as with a virtue, some virtuous concepts, feelings, and emotions, and qualities that we have as human beings, as well as an imbalanced type of energy that can be associated with each of these elements. So we'll be going into all of these elements at different times as we go through the different stages of these classes. But women who participate in my 6-month program, for example, learn to move through this creation cycle in a way that uplifts them, enlivens, and helps them to heal and energize. So that at each point, each of these elements impacts our ability to love and to live fully in our highest potential, so that we can actually choose which of these qualities we really want to enhance in our lives and to experience in our lives. So what I've seen is that when women commit to getting support on their journey to reclaim this energy and to break free, from the societal shame and find the balance and the richness of their sexual energy, a few things happen. One is that they stop feeling stuck in an undesirable loop of dissatisfaction and exhaustion. Secondly, they are able to live from this power of love, a place of deep connection with vibrant and magnetic energy that allows them to live out their visions for life with more bliss and joy. So I want to teach you a practice right now that'll help you to open up this flow of life-giving love. So what I want to teach you right this moment is a practice that allows you to actually cleanse the heart of some negative energies, which will allow us to experience the fullness of our hearts even more. So some of the imbalanced emotions of the fire element and of the heart organ specifically are disconnection, impatience, arrogance, cruelty, selfishness, guilt, or shame. So we can transform these energies into the virtues of unconditional love, compassion, acceptance, belonging, joy, happiness, and even passion itself. So I want to invite you to turn your hands, the palms of your hands, toward your body, facing your heart, and just scan inside the field of your heart. So close your eyes and look within to see if you are experiencing, or if you can locate, any feelings of guilt or shame, any feelings of selfishness, cruelty, disconnection, loneliness. Feeling deep inside you to see if any of these are there. And if so, then I invite you to raise your hands up over your head, interlace your fingers, pointing up to the ceiling or the sky, and leaning slightly to your right to release these feelings with the heart sound, ha. And then close your eyes, and as you inhale, draw in a vibrant red light into your heart, the light of unconditional love and complete unlimited self-acceptance, as well as feelings of compassion, understanding, forgiveness, joy, and compassion. Now again, scanning your heart, and again looking for any feelings of guilt, shame, self-doubt, selfishness, cruelty, isolation, loneliness. And then reaching your hands up over your head again, leaning slightly over to the right, interlacing the fingers, releasing those feelings with this heart sound. Ha. 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 And then closing the eyes, inhaling. As you breathe in the vibrant red light of the fire element, and with it, warmth, joy, compassion, love, acceptance, connection, and belonging. Also with a sense of love and respect for yourself. Honor, experiencing the honor of yourself, of your authentic being. Then we want to raise the hands up in front of the forehead and scan the brain for any residual feelings of guilt, self-doubt, disconnection, shame, aloneness. Raising your hands up over your head and releasing with the heart sound, ha. Drawing in the breath, and with it, the vibrant red light of the fire element in your heart, and bringing with it feelings of unconditional love and acceptance, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, and also awakening feelings of happiness, joy, connection, belonging, and actually your own heart's passion. So this is just one of the practices that I teach to open up for each of us the virtues that live in our bodies and in our organs that we can connect to, so that we can let go of these unwanted feelings and emotions, and to really connect fully to our biggest, highest goals and desires. So now I'd like to lead you into another practice that allows us to connect our hearts and our sexual organs. So I want to invite you to just take a moment to put one hand on your heart and one hand on your sexual organs. So I invite you to feel a golden light moving from shining basically into your brain, into your crown, and into your third eye center. To feel this golden loving light of enlightenment, spiritual bliss and connection. To feel this inside your brain and allow it to move down into your heart, awakening your heart and filling your heart with love, with joy, with appreciation, respect, and belonging. A sense of connection. And I invite you to allow these feelings to expand inside your heart. It's your own loving, vast, unlimited heart. And to send this energy from your heart down into your sexual organs, into your sacred yoni, to actually smile from your heart into your sexual organs, so that your sexual organs and your sexual energy are infused with love, with unconditional love. This is something that's new for most of us. Most of us have not been taught to love our sexual organs. But allow this love to flow uninhibited from your heart to your sexual organs. And breathe into this energy, allowing your breath to move freely between your heart and your sexual organs. To feel this very deep, sacred connection between these two parts of yourself, both of which are very sacred and very powerful. And I invite you to take a moment to ask your yoni, to ask your sexual organs if they have a communication for your heart. So what do your sexual organs want to say to your heart? Whatever that is, thank your yoni for communicating its truth to you. Now ask your heart if your heart has something that it wants to communicate to your yoni. What does your heart want to say to your sacred sexual organs? And thank your heart for whatever it wants to communicate. Allowing your breath to move freely between your heart and your sexual organs, so that your sexual organs are infused with unconditional love, and so that your heart is infused with power, the power of your sexuality and your sexual organs, your sexual energy. And allowing this energy to just move back and forth. And I invite you, rather than to store this energy in your heart, we don't really want to store excess energy in the heart, but allow this energy of love and sexual energy to move out into all of the cells of your body, to all of the organs, tissues, to every part of your being, expanding to your mental body, emotional body, physical body, and to spiritual body. And know that this is an experience that you can have over and over again. Let this be the beginning of your opening to your own sexual organs, to the opening of your heart, to the opening of a new vibrational field inside your body. So if you'd like to learn more about this, I invite you to connect with me on my website, which is tantradoctor.com. And that if you would like to experience more of this, to see how this kind of joy can manifest in your life, I invite you to connect with me for your own private one-on-one sacred sexual vitality breakthrough session with me. And the link is here. It is tantradoctor.com/breakthrough session. This is here. I'll be here for you on the Facebook page so that you can contact me and schedule your own session online through the website. So I'm curious to know, what are your biggest takeaways from today? What's been the most valuable part of what we've learned today? As modern people, we too can learn to connect fully to our hearts, transform our lives. Pleasure is medicine, and pleasure is your birthright, all of our birthrights as human beings. So I want to invite you to do the love integration actions this week. So to start with, let's use the healing sound to connect to your heart, and using the healing sound, ha, to release any negative feelings that are inside of your heart, and to bring in the unconditional love and acceptance that is there within you. Awaken compassion, love, and joy. And also to reconnect your heart and Yoni. I invite you to spend a few minutes every day. It might be really nice to do this when you wake up in the morning, or perhaps right before you fall asleep at night. It's an easy time to remember to do this. And allow this dialogue, allow this communication and this connection to flourish inside of you. And lastly, I want to invite you to share how these practices have impacted you below this image in the Facebook group, so that you can qualify to win the prize. This week's prize is a pleasure prize intimacy deck, which is 150 prompts to spark deeper and more meaningful conversations and opening within your own heart, and connect to those people that you love in your life. So this is just a taste of what's available. I invite you to join me again next week, Friday. Thanks so much for being here today. Feel free to reach out to me with comments on my website, or else through the Facebook page below, so that we can share what we're learning and the ways that we're growing through this practice. Namaste and much love to you.